The harder you try to hold on to someone, the easier it is to lose them. The more you seek certainty, the more insecure you feel. This is a paradox that many people fail to recognize in relationships. We often believe that care and sacrifice are enough to keep someone by our side, but attraction doesn't come from what we give. It comes from how we maintain our own value after giving. In this speech, Keanu Reeves unintentionally touches on profound truth about the psychology of attraction and the real reason someone can't forget you. Watch until the end, because what you're about to learn could completely change the way you build connections. Not through desperate efforts to hold on, but through the power of your own inner strength. Many people believe that once they become intimate with someone, they will naturally feel more connected. This idea stems from the assumption that physical closeness automatically leads to emotional connection. The reality doesn't work that way. Everyone processes intimacy differently. While some see it as an emotional bond, others don't perceive it that way at all. Instead, they tend to pull back. Not out of indifference, but because they need time to process their emotions. Let's look at the story of Beatrix and Andrew. They had been dating for 3 months, and everything during that time was amazing. Beatrix poured her heart into the relationship, believing that intimacy would lead to deeper commitment. But weeks later, Andrew started to become distant. He texted less, seemed distracted in conversations, and no longer initiated plans as he used to. Beatrix grew anxious. She overanalyzed every message, replayed past conversations, and wondered what she had done wrong. The harder she tried to restore the warmth of the relationship, the more Andrew withdrew. What happened? It wasn't that Andrew suddenly lost interest, but rather that the balance had been disrupted. Beatrix believed intimacy would strengthen their bond, but Andrew needed space to process his emotions, instead of allowing him to naturally return. She unintentionally pushed him further away by constantly seeking reassurance. This is a situation many people find themselves in. They think that loving someone deeply is enough to make them stay, but love alone isn't enough. Maintaining balance in relationship is crucial, and this is where many people make the mistake of overcompensating after intimacy. They text more, show extra affection, and try harder to prove their loyalty, believing this will make them more valued. But the truth is, less is more. The most captivating people in history, the ones who leave lasting impression, aren't those who beg for love in relationships, but those who exude confidence. They don't constantly text. They let things unfold naturally. They don't disappear as manipulation tactic, but simply live their lives as usual. They don't panic when someone they cherish doesn't respond immediately because they believe that what is meant for them will always come back. Most people are naturally curious, driven by the instinct to pursue, explore, and seek new challenges. But when you become too predictable, too available, too devoted, you unintentionally eliminate the very element that fuels attraction: mystery. If you want to be someone unforgettable, master the art of calmness and confidence. Don't rush to seek reassurance. Don't overanalyze their actions. Always trust in your own worth, because when someone feels that they can have you but you don't depend on them, they will pursue you. Not because you force them to, but because they genuinely want to. And that is the difference between someone who is easily forgotten and someone who leaves an unforgettable impression that no one can erase. One of the biggest mistakes we often make after intimacy is seeking immediate reassurance in a relationship. We text first, overanalyze every response, and try to gain their attention. This behavior is usually driven by insecurity, the fear of being abandoned or replaced. But the truth is, attraction cannot grow in an environment of pressure. It only thrives naturally. People cherish what they have to earn. This isn't just modern concept, but psychological principle that has existed for ages. When something is too easy to obtain, it's often taken for granted. But when there's uncertainty, when they're unsure if they truly have it, their mind becomes captivated by it. It's like having 2 books on library shelf. One is widely available, free, and can be purchased anywhere. Other is limited edition, rare copy reserved only for those who truly seek it. Which one do you think people value more? The same principle applies to relationships. When you naturally create space, not as manipulation tactic, but a sign of self-respect. You silently activate your own allure. This doesn't mean ignoring or intentionally making things difficult for someone. It means shifting the focus back to yourself. You continue pursuing your passions, goals, and personal life without waiting for anyone. Through your actions, you show that while you deeply appreciate the relationship, you do not let it define or control you. This approach yields remarkable results. First, it makes people feel your absence. When they text and realize you're busy, when they see you're not eagerly waiting for their presence, they start to miss you. They begin to wonder what you're doing, why you're not instantly available, and most importantly, whether they've truly won you over. That uncertainty fuels attraction. Second, and even more importantly, it demonstrates your value. It shows that you are not desperate for validation and that you fully understand your worth. You carry yourself with the confidence that you are enough with or without them. And that confidence is precisely what makes you so attractive. The most captivating people are not necessarily the most beautiful or the most gentle. They are those who know how to balance closeness with independence. They cherish every moment but never lose themselves in it. After intimacy, they don't become overly available or overly dependent. They maintain their standards, boundaries, and personal values. And that's what makes them stand out. Never forget that person's greatest allure doesn't lie in their appearance, words, or even their affection for others. It lies in how they value themselves. Many people believe they need to prove their worth to earn genuine treatment from others. They try their hardest to demonstrate loyalty, dedication, and sacrifice, hoping that their efforts will be recognized and appreciated. But this approach often backfires. The truth is, true value should reveal itself naturally. What makes these people special? First, they don't chase validation. They don't sit around waiting for a message, nor do they constantly check their phone to see if the person they care about has reached out. They understand that if someone truly values them, that person will naturally make an effort to connect. Second, they maintain their own life. They have passions, hobbies, and friends. They don't abandon everything just to please someone else. They recognize that a relationship is meant to add color to their life, making it more vibrant, not to become the center of it. Third, they set boundaries and are unafraid to enforce them. They don't settle for less than they deserve just because they fear losing someone they cherish. They know that if someone doesn't meet their standards, they're willing to walk away rather than compromise on superficial connection. Once you start embodying these qualities, you'll notice something surprising. Many people have realized that the moment they stop chasing, the moment they prioritize themselves, the very people who once overlooked them begin to return. Not for any mysterious reason, simply because they now radiate confidence that wasn't there before. Why does this happen? Because self-respect is rare. In a world where many seek external validation, someone who is emotionally grounded and self-sufficient stands out. People are naturally drawn to those who choose them but don't rely on them for happiness. So, don't try to prove your worth. Be the person who understands their value more than anyone else. Be someone others desire, not because you demand their attention, but because your presence itself is magnetic. When you fully recognize your own worth, the right people will inevitably recognize it too. Many people let emotions override logic in relationships. They seek reassurance out of fear. Fear of being abandoned, ignored, or unappreciated. But few understand that humans are naturally drawn to those who have control over their emotions. A person who masters their emotions doesn't let anxiety dictate their actions. They don't panic, overthink, or spiral into doubt. Instead, they move with calm confidence, knowing that this is an opportunity to assess whether the other person is truly worthy of their energy. This is how you maintain personal power. We all live in a world full of pressures. Work, finances, societal expectations. Naturally, we crave comfort and stability in our relationships. That's why someone who is emotionally self-sufficient becomes rare and valuable presence. They are not easily shaken by life's uncertainties. Don't react impulsively. Instead, they remain firm, proving that they don't need external validation to feel fulfilled. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending to be indifferent. It means expressing emotions with control. When something bothers you, you speak up calmly, not with panic. When you're happy, you share your joy without needing validation to sustain it. When someone pulls away, you give them space instead of desperately trying to fix the relationship. Confidence will earn you deep respect from others because they will realize that you are unlike anyone else. You have passed the unspoken tests they unconsciously set for you. After intimacy, control your energy. Don't rush to define the relationship. Hold on to your confidence. Your value is not determined by how quickly they text back, but by your ability to remain steady regardless of the outcome. Emotional stability is the key to attraction. People might be drawn to appearances or the excitement of something new, but what makes them stay is the presence of someone who remains composed and unwavering. A truly remarkable person is one who knows their worth, doesn't seek validation, and exudes quiet confidence. Because people always return to those they respect. In the end, lasting attraction isn't about sacrifice or pursuit. It's about self-respect. A person stands out not because they cling to someone, but because they understand their own worth and don't need anyone to validate it. Keanu Reeves once touched on deep truth about human psychology. Attraction doesn't come from what you give away, but from the strength you maintain after you've given. If this resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments and hit follows. You don't miss more valuable insights.